Come on and light your joker. What's going on, everybody? We are live from the Singing Oak. It's a nice, beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day. But we're going to do an energy check-in while we ground take in some of this energy. I had to get the aesthetics. I'm gonna talk about the tree, but this is what it looked like. We got a lot of these wind chimes. We got about 6 or 7 of them things around here. And then you got the gulls up there. But what's going on? We're in the Blue Monkey wave spell. We have been for the last 4 days. The Blue Monkey wave spell. And that deals with playfulness, illusions, and magic. This is the time to believe in magic for the rest of this wave spell, next 9 days or so. Oh, did I just pop out? Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna pull it out for you. But yeah, the play, the illusion, the magic. One of the examples I always use for this is the illusion of cards or art. It's a 2D picture, but it looks 3D when you look at the image, like the illusion of things. So it's like spell work, you know what I mean? Are you really seeing what you're seeing, or are you seeing something different? You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy that's asking you. Are you dealing with reality, or are you in somebody's illusion? And what are you creating for yourself? It truly is a magical time, despite all that's going on, and that's why all that's going on is what's going on, because it is a very magical time. So let's get some cards and see what they say. But that's the overall feeling, man. It's been weird the last couple of days. Like, you could tell things are changing. You could tell things are shifting and transitioning. Just like in every conversation I've heard or I've been in. And right before I left, I had this big black dog walk up on the porch and eat all the cat food. It was really, really something. Like I said, things are just weird, yo. What's going on? Oops. Y'all must got iPhones. I don't know what that little symbol is. Unless I'm just slow to death. But welcome in regardless. I know it ain't nothing derogatory. But it's been a wild day like that. It's been a while, like maybe 3 or 4 days since the wave spell started. What's going on, Dre? But again, it's like being at the carnival almost. You know what I'm saying? You got the funhouse mirrors and shit like that going on. You got reality and illusion kind of going back and forth with each other. You know, what's real and what's not. You feel me? That's why I say the shit that's going on, I would be doing it too if I was the owl. You feel what I'm saying? To keep people out of this energy, because it feels like what we talked the last time about shedding old skin and people transitioning one way or another, right? Somebody on my father's side passed away, recently, like Sunday or something. And then one of my homegirls, her father passed. It was like back to back transitioning, but then you'll see people transition from like people just moving one address to the other, one job to the other, another relationship to another. It might not even be like a relationship with somebody else. It might be transitioning from some people learning to be by themselves kind of transition, or people getting into relationships or being in relationship with spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a transitional phase where people are being asked to kind of to die. You know what I'm saying? To transform. And I really I mean, we good out here, but I broke out the Transformers, boy. I had all them bad boys out because I felt like something was really changing. So did my due diligence with that collection right there. I had to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing having a small collection. It only takes you 10 minutes to clean the bitch. Fuck around and get about almost 200 plus. You be there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a reminder of maintenance. Keeping up with things. Doing some spring cleaning really helped too. I did that on Sunday. Didn't even know why I was doing it till I saw the calendar, but it's a yellow human day. That was my shit. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it real quick, y'all. What did I say popped on the porch? When I said, as soon as I left to come here, must have been about 20 minutes ago, this big black dog. It was one of those kind of like poodle dogs, you know, with the long fluffy ears, but not a poodle. It was almost like this dog, but the white dog. You feel what I'm saying? It was a dog on the porch. And it went right in the cobbler's bowl. Cobbler's the stray cat we feed at the house. That's what I call him. I call him Cobbler, Cheeseburger. I got all kinds of nicknames for that motherfucker. But went right in the bowl and just tore that shit up. And I didn't bother him. I didn't bother him at all. Looked a little scraggly, but wasn't dangerous, wasn't growling. It's just hungry. You know, I'm not going to turn a dog away like that. But then again, I ain't going to start bringing shit out the house so this motherfucker keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that dependency. No, it must be in the air because sure it cleared the space. Yeah. Appreciate it. You know, it is what it is. But that's the energy of the day. So this is talking about, and going along with the waist belt, and these Mayan calendar cards have been coming out more than anything else. And this is a reminder of people to get back on natural time. What is natural time? That's like moving when your body says move. It's not, you know, clocking in and clocking out kind of shit. It's about getting back to, you know, when things are naturally supposed to move, when things are naturally supposed to evolve. Nobody can tell a flower when it's time to get the hell up and start sprouting, kind of thing. It's on a time of its own, and you are on a time of your own. And you got to remember that, because the thing where people kind of get messed up is the comparison with what other people got going on. Like, you can't fall into that trap. Dude, I got spiders doing goddamn gymnastics on the cars. It's like all kind of crazy shit. And I saw this spider today that looked like it was made of metal. It was like silver and black, like, again, with this black. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who is listening today, but there is a message in here, especially about the dogs. The heart, the loyalty, the love, doing what you love. Being around people who love you. You know, when my family called about the loss in the family, I couldn't take it no way because I don't know those people. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have a loyalty just because we share a name or just some blood, but we haven't been around each other. So it's kind of, you know, it's a real funky place to be in when it comes to things of that nature. And I just kept it pushing. You know, what can I do? How's the only time people gonna call you is when something bad happens anyway? You know what I'm saying? Or when there's money involved. I ain't gonna lie, I be in that boat too. It gotta be a lot though. But we're gonna pull cards today too if you want. I got the donation sheet if anybody needs it. But let's look a little bit deeper into this judgment. What I tell y'all, motherfuckers is waking up. This is an awakening time. Waking up to, I would love to say a lot of you are waking up to who you are. Let's say your power, your gifts, maybe for the first time, if you're new to, you know, the whole thing. Or whether you've been in it for years. Maybe there's something new evolving for you on that. You know what I'm saying? But the judgment. Going backwards to go forwards is the depiction here. And this is the first card. So this is, again, about, and this is the first card I ever did for this deck without knowing I was doing a deck. But it speaks about the Aries energy that we're in, the new beginnings, and making room. There's a lot of, like, you can feel it out here. It's in the water, it's in the air. It's everywhere if you're really just taking some time out for yourself. Judgment card with the Queen Mother. Matriarch energy. And on the bottom of the deck, we got the Strength, which was the second card I did. And it's funny, this came up in the conversation when we were doing the art last night, or the night before. This is one of the second cards. Oh yeah, that's right, it is Taurus season now. It is. We just transitioned, my bad. Look, don't shoot the messenger, we shoot back. So, an awakening. And this probably happened around that moon that we had in Aries, because Aries is an activation, and if I'm not mistaken, Chiron is in Aries. And another, because I heard a discussion on this on one of the channels or something, and people were saying that, they took it from another angle. But what I took it was now that it's in Aries, this is an activation. And what I mean by that is you're going to have the strength to overcome a lot of things right now. Yeah, but it's an activation because it's in Aries, and it's going to put it towards the self. It's going to put it towards you. So if you did something around that moon, or you felt things, or you channeled whatever happened around that moon, this is when like all that shit started to jump off. And what it's doing is giving you a different kind of strength right now. Again, this card is really about shedding labels more so than shedding skin, but breaking free of things, breaking free from the rut, from what the rest of the world got going on. How the rest of the world sees you. So this may be other people's opinions about you, kind of thing. This may be anything that liberates you and doesn't keep you bound anymore, especially emotionally. You know what I'm saying, with this moon card here. Maybe even hidden patterns, stuff like that, little trigger things people use, like manipulation and all that. So it's the same thing. It goes back to this blue monkey race spell. Yes, we want you to have fun. Yes, we want you to play and cash your illusions and shit, you know what I'm saying? Now you see me, now you don't kind of shit. But at the same time, it's like, you got to be mindful of the shadow of all these as well. Everything has a light and everything has a shadow, and both are useful. You just got to make sure you're not the one getting played. You know what I'm saying? While all this is going on. And this is what it's really going to reveal, is that a lot of us were in places we didn't need to be at. We kind of did we kind of spun the block on a few things. You know what I'm saying? I done had an apology come through and spun on the block on some shit, but I regretted it at the end. I don't want to say I regretted it. It was a waste. I already knew what was up. You know what I'm saying? I already knew what was going on. I already knew what was up. But that was like part of the healing journey. This is what shows you where your points are, look what came out. All right, so now we're going to talk about it. Process, the magic, the illusion, and the play. And blue is the color, right? Chewing, the blue monkey. So this can mean not only playfulness, but also the monkey on your back. I'm telling you, this is a great time, especially while Chiron is in Aries, to let go of any codependencies, any habits, any tendencies. This is going to be the time to help heal that. If you've already felt the urge, if you already got the nudge, it's in there. Like, I haven't had the urge for what I'm usually, like, I'm drinking tea now instead of coffee more so. You know what I'm saying? Like, the transition of things. Like bud. I'm not even looking for bud. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that it was a everyday thing, but even that is just like falling away. The way I used to think is falling away, and you're probably experiencing things of this nature too. Let's see what else we have. Cinnamon, yeah, it's an abundant time. And the Magician, you got everything you need right now. And this is indicative of Taurus season right here. This shit right here. That shit going to Taurus season right there. It's the fullness, it's the groundedness. This shit, that's what I'm doing right now, is what she's doing. I'm sitting right here in the grass, right? But the thing I want you to remember also, going back to this blue monkey, take your time. Everything is a process. And I know it's backwards there. That's the only thing I don't like about the camera flip. But take your time in this process. Don't rush anything. Because that Aries energy is still kind of lingering. We had Mars fucking sitting right up in there in Aries. You don't talk about an instigator. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about starting some shit. That Aries and that Mars. Speaking of starting shit, you just got to see it out here for yourself. So we got the geese out here. We got a little girl chasing she chasing the geese. She ain't gonna get him though. But it's that energy, you know what I'm saying? Chasing things is really part of it. What are you chasing now? Are you chasing a reality that's tangible? And this would be the time to bring that into reality. Aries kind of gave us the nudge out the door, but now we have to solidify all that beautiful creative energy that came out of Aries season. How are you going to ground that into the physical? You know what I mean? These are some of the things that are coming up out of this. Let me get two more, and then I think I'm going to just leave it right where it is. I want it simple until I get back to the home base right quick. She about that life. She's trying to get them those geese. And those two ducks, those two geese, where'd they go? They flew off. Delivers. So decision time, of course, making decisions, choices. But this is definitely in the air. We're talking about Taurus season, Venus, all that good shit is flying through. But this is also self-love. Your yin and your yang. How is that making a dance right now? You know what I mean? Mom breathed heavy and the kid just took off again. That shit funny. That's like that Aries energy right there. It'll wear you out if you let that shit wear you out. That's what it looked like right there. It's like you was always behind something, chasing something. But that's part of the illusion to what are you chasing right now? You shouldn't be chasing anything. Taurus season is going to tell you to sit your ass down and get grounded. Get practical with it. Right? Yeah, don't quit. She already on the other side of the park. Ma catching her breath. Damn, what did I just get pricked with? Okay. And this is cool now. Tausi. This is about your support system, and it doesn't mean a physical support system either. This could be a spiritual support system. The things... Let that talk. This is soul tribe energy. These are the people that are on your wavelength. These are people that are on that same path that you've now embarked upon, whether you know it or not. It doesn't have to be a physical journey, but it's a journey no less. This is your support system. People that are going to rally around this ascension of yours. This endeavor, this ideal of yours. This could be family or friends, but like I said, it's not always about blood related. So we're talking about like-minded individuals, kindred spirits, that kind of thing. And you also being that for somebody else, being a support. And what I mean by that is a lot of people who are going through the loss of something, are feeling some type of way. We talked about this on the last video about how tender the snake is after it sheds skin, because the red serpent was on deck. You know what I'm saying? How vulnerable people feel. There's a bit of that Taurus nurturing energy going on right about now, because Ginger was on the bottom, about putting that love into everything you do. And, of course, being discerning. You can't save the world, but, lending an ear to somebody who needs it. It's a tough time for transitions depending on what it is. Like, somebody might need some advice on their new spiritual journey. How do I talk to ancestors, kind of thing. So it's one of the things where you're an expert at. Things that you really pop, that are just like everyday breathing for you. Well, now it's kind of like passing a little bit of that on to the next person. And at the same breath, this would be like a mentor for your ass on your part of the journey. Or somebody who's going to come in and aid you. Some of y'all, y'all spirit guides are different. Your totems are different. So there's a new language that has to be learned. You know what I mean? When I moved from Philly down here, I don't have the robins anymore that my grandmother used to have show up. You know what I'm saying? It was different birds now. So the language changed, is what I'm saying. But you can lend a hand in a lot of people's transitions just by doing something like this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to reach but 5-10 people. I don't give a fuck. But there might be something in there that somebody needs because they're starting something where you've already been there, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And the chime stopped. The sun came back out. And I love laughing gulls. They're just some of the most fun things to feed in the world, man. You just throw that shit in there and they dive bomb that shit. Sometimes it sounds like a bunch of old ladies up there. So let's get a closing message. I know this is kind of all over the place. It feels like that. Like Taurus season is right on time. It's right on time. Blue storm. If you haven't done your spring cleaning, if you haven't cleaned out your phone, your emails, got rid of people who don't belong in your life, it's about to happen. And it's about to happen suddenly. Maybe even violently, because this is a violent storm. When you talk about the blue storm, it's swift, it's sudden, but is the land so much cleaner and lusher afterwards. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to get rid of dead weight. Go in the closet, go in the attic, go in the garage, go in the trunk of your car, go in the damn glove box of your car. It was funny because I've been walking by this tray in the bathroom that's been there since probably I moved in there. And I never once thought to look in there because it's off in the corner. It really draws no attention. But I looked in there, and in 3 of the drawers, there's like all this old toothpaste and brushes and shit. Look like motherfucker who built the house left their shit up in there. You know what I mean? But that lingering energy does stuff to the overall effect of the house. And finally just going in there and cleaning that out is like, well, goddamn, you know what I mean? If you do feng shui, you know how the bathroom is set up and what that is for and what the kitchen is for. And that's why it's important when you have like shared spaces. Like, I got a shared space. We're transitioning out of that. You feel what I'm saying? Because how I value, and this is what Taurus is going to give you, the emphasis on the value, because I value the cleanliness of the environment because I know what it does for me as an individual, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to make the transition. So it's not saying that you have already been pushed out, whatever. You still got some pushing to do, you know what I'm saying? There's still some cleaning to do. There's little places and pockets that you didn't notice that you should be looking at now, you know what I mean? For a number of reasons. It could be in your relationship, it could be in your business, whatever. Why am I not attracting jobs? Why am I not attracting a partner? Why am I not attracting whatever it is that you want? well, it's time to look around and see what maybe you missed in some of them drawers that you got. You know what I mean? In some of them closets. When's the last time you went to the car wash and just vacuumed all that shit out of there? And sometimes it'd be the smallest things, the most practical things. All right, 2 cards before we roll up out of here. Look at that. The Emperor and the Hanged Man or woman. Take it how you take it. And this is the closing message. Authority, taking authority, Aries energy again. So this is like the tail end going into Taurus season. Taking charge, being the hero in your life, managing time and energy, and then gaining a new perspective because, again, more cards of changes and metamorphosis and coming out of a chrysalis and having a new beginning. This is how the babies come into the world. You know what I'm saying? They switch in the room. So it's kind of that, again, a change of perspective, but seeing things differently. I don't care what it is. And of course, you're going to see yourself differently in the midst of all this. But the way you see everything is changing. I'm telling you right now. If you're not going through it, you're going to be there. Because people around you are changing. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to be stubborn as the bull and not change, that's when it gets funky. That's when you start getting the pushback and shit go wrong for you in a way that you could have took control of that with that Emperor energy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean take control by forcing things in this case. So it's like a fine line. You know what I'm saying? A fine line. And Temperance has been telling us that for I don't know how long. How to balance that out. So if y'all want to, look at it, more dollars showing up. So if y'all want a card, just let me know in the comment, whatever. If you want 3 cards, that'll be 5. If you want a full reading, you know where to go in the inbox. But I'll do a card for free. If you want 3 cards, I'll do it for 5. And I got the list for you, whatever you need. But I can send you on your way with a card at least. If you're still in here. You're just going to put your hand up in the comments if you want one. Now, this is what I'm talking about that Tausi card. And Dre, you probably heard this 100 times from me. But this is where you got to really use your own intuition and you know your situation better. I see what you got going on already. I saw something pop out for you already. I haven't seen that card in a while. You're another one. All right, look, this is what it is. I'm going to give you 4 because this one kind of popped out. You are having a new beginning. And it does start around Aries season for you. Or it already did around Aries season. And you were asked to take a leap of faith in some aspect, right? This is the card that came back for you, which is the unicorn, the pure of heart. And this is more about manifestation and attraction right here for men. But it goes back to the first card that we started off with, which was the white dog. It's all about what's in your heart right now. Whatever archetype you are, whether the unicorn or the lady or even playing both, it's a matter of attraction, but that comes from the heart. It has to be in the heart. Well, here's the ones that I want you to use it for. Really, was this one, the Blue Knight, and you pulled strength, like from earlier. So it's a lot of shedding, but at the same time, it's a lot of dreaming. And maybe one of these days, even your perspective of me saying that will change, because you'll see the benefit of listening to your own inner voice. You feel what I'm saying? So this is really a cocoon right here. If I ever saw one. This is a hermit mode and a half if I ever saw one. And if you want to screenshot these bad boys, that's why I'm holding them up there for you. And just throw a heart or something up there when you're good. Or a little thumbs up or something. If you're still there. Just let me know when you got them. Or if you need to see them, or you're done with these. And it's wild because, and that's why I just like doing the 3 cards, because I don't have to say too much. You know, with the way Spirit has been wiring a brother, like it's wild what I'm picking up now off of people. You know what I'm saying? So you know, if you really want that smoke, you get the reading. Just prepare for the smoke, because a lot of times what I'm feeling, especially now, is just we are all in those endeavors that aren't working. We're just in our fucking way. And I would say get out of that way. Get out of your way. Especially with this one. Because this is dealing with Leo energy, confidence. Where there may not have been confidence at one time to do something. Now is the time where you're being supported. And the confidence to take a leap. And like, it's like, this feels fucking frightening in my hands. It's kind of like, you know, one of those things where you got to speak for the first time and you get the little shakes and shit. You know what I mean? The little nerves and shit. But it says you're in the right place at the right time. But the thing about it is you asked for it. You asked for it. Whether you know it or not, you attract it, whatever it is. So that may be on the upscale, or, you know what I mean, like, what the fuck was I thinking kind of thing. But it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like almost like nerves or anxiety. So as a new endeavor, you might want to pick up something like Qigong, something that deals with breath work, or taking supplements or herbs that deal with the nervous system, especially during nighttime. Some blue lotus with some mugwort, some shit like that, you know what I mean? But this is going to get you into that bag anyway, because that's the whole purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose, is to get you back in your bag. But a bag that you're not used to. A bag that you're not used to. Oh no, I've used 80% of my Mint mobile data. And that's one thing I did. I went to Mint. I got out of that old system. That old system was running my shit up, and it was giving me no quality, and that phone that I had was shit. So I died. As far as T-Mobile is concerned, I have died. Sprint, T-Mobile, they looking for me. Like, yo, you gonna pay this bill? Nah, I went to Mint. And that's just a small example of changing the frequency around you. And it saved me money. Oh my God. I get 20 back and I got 3 months on top of what I usually pay. You know what I mean? But that's just one of those little things. This feels a bit more major than that. You know what I'm saying? Well, only because you're returning, you know, channel subscriber, whatnot. And there's been a bit of history. I gave you that little bit. But I feel like that's going to also help somebody else. Man, these spiders are everywhere. They picked a good day to start doing all that. Well, I'll tell you this, because things like that, and even with that, I was like a little apprehensive. And this is what I'm talking about the apprehension to change. Especially if you're a fixed sign. You know, we're Taurus. If you got Aquarius, so you like double. You know what I mean? You fucking in a corner shaking over, you know, changing what kind of cooking oil you're going to use for the night. You know what I mean? Like, it could be something like that. But that's just a fun example when I say that, because that's in the spirit of the blue monkey. You really got to kind of laugh this shit off. You got to laugh all the nerves and everything off best you can. Because it's time to put on the performance. It's time to show up now for yourself. So anybody else want cards? So mine came in the mail 2 days after I switched over. They gave me the option to keep my number or change it. No cost either way. I can't say either way. But my people's coming over to the tree. It's just beautiful out here today. Look at that sky. Look at that sky. Can't beat these perspectives. Right, that's a painting right there. Let me screenshot that. I'm gonna use that for my painting. All right, say word. But it's things like that. And that's why I tell you to enjoy the ride. It took 2 days, put the chip in the phone, it was activated, other phone went dead. And I'm a lot happier now. Service works. You know what I'm saying? I got data again that works. Fucking speaker on the phone works. That old phone was kind of like, I would say settling. So that for me is kind of how I'm processing what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? It's this kind of introspection that we all should be going through right now. You feel me? All right. Well, if there ain't nobody else in here, I'm gonna be. I don't learn a new qigong pose I want to try out, because I need a little bit of R&R today. So I get back to this work. But if that's where we part, if nobody else would like a card, like I said, I'll do a card if you want to just take one with you. But $5 for 3 cards, 3 or so. You know, if it needs clarity, we good. But I don't want to make the video too long. It's already about 40 minutes, and I want folks to get what they want, you know, in a short amount of time without having to spend a whole hour. It's still the same. Nope, absolutely not. And everybody who asks for it, I tell them the same thing. You got the email, you know what I'm saying? Like, really clearing house and standing on fucking business. is what it's about now. That's that emperor energy that came up. Like nothing, nobody gets through the gates in this new cycle until everything has kind of settled itself out. So we can really see. Now there's a few exceptions to the rules, but as far as that old number, I'm just going to use that for my WhatsApp. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm going to do everybody's ass over there. You know what I'm saying? But the private number, that's shit. You might as well be Jesus to get that number and fucking Buddha. You know what I mean? It's that time, and you got to really take it that serious right now. I'm not playing no games, and I don't want y'all to play games, but at the same time, I want you to play, because we're in the Blue Monkey way spell. Just don't fall for the illusions out here that are tripping some people up. For real, for real. You feel me? So with that being said, I'm out of here. I'm gonna burn some more resin. I'm gonna get on this damn ground and clear this energy out here. And I encourage y'all to do something today along those lines if you haven't already. We'll do with the rest of that thing, man. Alright, good peoples. I am going to holler at y'all. Yeah, so if you call that number, you can send a text or anything, you ain't got a response, that's why. And it just slipped my mind to send out like an email or whatever. Put people on notice. I just didn't feel the need to do that, except for the people that I'm like associated with right now, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like real time, I'm gonna see them tomorrow, kind of shit. You know what I mean? Moving things on. Nah, change it up and watch what happens. I'm telling you, you gotta just change it up. Anything that's meant to come back around will come back around. You don't have to worry about that. But you got to understand, people are now branching off in different places, different ways, you know, to meet new people. And that's what the encouragement is, especially for, you know, Taurus season. It's going to ask a lot of people to get out of their comfort zone, even though it's a comfortable sign. You know what I'm saying? This is the time to do it. But I tell you, I don't hear nothing in the house anymore, and it's done something to my energy. It's giving me space. It's conserved energy. It's done a lot. So this is what I'm saying. You know, really, you got to chop some people out of here. You got to chop the access. You know, especially if you're going through shit. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody got no explanation for. Ain't nobody but my grandma and the Most High. I'm telling you, walking me through this shit right now, and I need that space. And do that, and ask yourself why. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't dead. Everything else worked. But until I figure the rest of this shit out and the rest of me, I don't need any extra input. I don't need any surprise visits. Like I said, that was a test for me when my family showed up on my dad's side. Everybody hit me this and that. Nah, we're not going to do that. Especially when there's no history there like that. You know what I'm saying? And even if there was. Although that might be a different case because of what happened. Damn, every time I come up here, man, somebody got my fucking shells. I swear I be stashing these bitches. But alright, y'all, I'm out of here. I'm going to get on this grass and do some yoga. But take your time, have fun, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.